This series is made possible by Honda South Africa, Leatt, Insta360 and Kameraz. It's the morning of our second last day on the Sidetracked with Honda tour.
We are staying over in a little town called Wepener tonight, and it's overcast, it's cold, and I saw a photo this morning of some snow in the city. So luckily we all brought our very, very warm clothes. These guys are going to have a cold day on the bike today. Hey, but that's what it's about. It's adventure riding.
Gaan nog wel slaap. Here you go, big boy.
Thank you.
Be all the man you can be. It's orange. It suits your bike.
It's getting cold apparently.
It looks like it. Look at.
We're going to the Tankwa-Karoo in the Middelburg. You don't need warm riding gear. They say that it rained and snowed last night in Lesotho, and we are stopping tonight on the border of Lesotho.
What are we gonna do?
We're going to call the Ghostbusters. Go to the pep stores in Middelburg and buy ourselves some long underwear. That's all we need done.
Sadly, Mujaki had to take his broken collarbone on another arranged lift back to Gauteng. We'll transport his bike on the trailer, with large cracks beginning to appear in the frame. So, we MacGyver a strapping plan, for time being. It seems like the rain will catch us in the mountains heading out of town. Adrian makes a clever plan to keep his gloves dry. And we leave New Bethesda towards Middelburg, Steynsburg, Venterstad, Bethuli, Smithfield and eventually Wepener. It's going to be a very slippery start to the first of only 2 gravel sections for the day. We eventually merge onto the N9 North, hoping to break through the clouds and rain on the other side of the Sneeuwberg Mountains. As we hoped, the clouds give way to sunshine, but there's still an icy chill in the air.
So here we are in a town called Middelburg in the Eastern Cape. We are now waiting for the truck. There is a bit of a logistics issue with the backup delivery van. We find a spot here and we weld that trailer back together again, Humpty Dumpty style. We'll see if it works.
Turns out that the Humpty Dumpty School of Welding does not apply to the quality of welding you can expect in Middelburg. After torturing the constantly laden trailer with more than 3,000 kilometers of rocky Karoo and Cedarburg tweespoor, the kind folks at the Dunlop Zone Tire Centre sorts it out with a very impressive welding job.
Surprised it actually lasted to here.
Wat nie? Nee! Ah! But check. Ja. You'd think it know by now. You'd think, hè?
Thanks to the guys at the Dunlop Tire Centre in Middelburg. The trailer is all welded up, and personally I think stronger than before, and now we're gonna chase the bikes. Luckily we can go more than 60 k's an hour now, and we'll meet up with them in Bethuli.
But before we get there, we take another sidetrack to the Orange Fish Tunnel. This, the longest water tunnel in South Africa, at 80 kilometers in length and 5 meters in diameter, feeds much needed water from Gariep Dam underneath towering mountains to the water-scarce Eastern Cape for agricultural, industrial and domestic use. The access tunnel on the Eastern Cape side drops down into the granite hillside for almost half a kilometer until you reach the main turbine hall. This system, that's been operating since the late 70s, regulates the overwhelming flow of water rushing down the tunnel from Gariep Dam with a specialized system of enormous thick rubber valves. The tunnel only gets shut off for a few short days once a year, allowing teams to drive vehicles into the subterranean pipe, inspecting and maintaining the concrete walls. The main turbine hall also houses an old hydroelectric generator that was damaged just after installation in 1975, never again repaired or used to this day. Contact the Department of Water Affairs head office in Pretoria and apply for a tour of this facility. It's any engineer's dream day trip. Now we ride from the country's longest water tunnel to the largest dam and the longest combined road and rail bridge in South Africa. The Steyn Bridge was opened for traffic in 1970. It was built to replace the original Bethuli Bridge that had to be removed to make way for the floodwaters of the newly built Gariep Dam. This combined road and railway bridge is the longest of its kind in South Africa, as it stretches for 1,121 meters above the Orange River's eastern inlet into the Gariep Dam. Time to celebrate our arrival in the Free State province in the appropriate manner.
Ek en mevrou Dominee is so opgewonde dat julle hier is. Welkom in ons dorp. Daar is 'n tombola tafel vir die fees. En ons gaan natuurlik 'n vleistafel ook hê. Daar is ook tafellager, maar dis 'n hele ander fees.
My lippe is droog.
Jy is droog.
Ek is droog.
So we at the Oakard pub here in Bethuli. I still don't know where I am, I'm just going with these guys. But apparently we can also franchise this place, so here we go.
After our refreshment break, we saddle up again and ride our horses out of town, looking for the last bit of gravel road for the day, just on the other side of the town of Smithfield. The turnoff towards Wepener heralds the last 70 kilometers of gravel for the day. So, we let go of the reins somewhat and let the horses run free on this wide open Free State rural road. The Lord Fraser Guest House was the summer house of Lord Ian Fraser of Lonsdale, the chairman of the once powerful retail business Fraser's, based in Maseru, Lesotho. It has marvelous rooms, a kitchen serving hearty country fare that's bound to fill any adventure rider's appetite, and a cozy bar. It's here that we gather the troops and make our last stand on the last night of the tour.
Dust, it's sometimes important to just help them with a little bit of a cough, you know what I'm saying? We're now going to have our fines meeting.
Well done. Round of applause. Round of applause. For always being on time. Always for always.
Tomorrow apparently he's going to wheelie away from...
And making snotty remarks about other guys. All beside.
Just lekker.
Rooster champion of
Ja,
the
there we
truck for napping and snoring. Shots. Oh.
taking a dump in our toilet this morning.
Especially the toilet, the thing's standing like this. Rory needs two because he rides like two people. One moment he's 60 and the next moment he's 160.
Yes, give him another one for his other personality.
For his jokes.
I'll take it. I'd like to nominate Armani for getting out of Gauteng. And this is a reward more than a penalty.
As I came over the hill, I saw two oaks lying in the water on their sides, on the bridge.
Nee, I was thinking of just a scorpion.
After the Skulk's accident, For the next half an hour, he called him John. Scott didn't respond because his name is not John.
I feel Jacques fell.
Who's John?
As I phoned Pierre, I phoned another Pierre before that. I phoned one of my customers. And Pierre was sorry, not laat, drink je phone.
Oh, talk.
I've never had the privilege to ride with a traffic cone before.
Gets away with it. There's someone that goes faster with all our bikes and that's in the GWM bucket.
I'm in the privileged position, same as Allah, where I'm in my business, I'm on the top of the ladder. So I'm a king at work, I'm the king at home, and I'm giving instructions, and everybody's doing exactly what I'm saying every day. So nobody's questioning me the whole time, except here. Suddenly I'm sitting with an injury, and I have to take instructions from an actor. And, it's been a humbling experience, and it's brought me down. I found that you're not above everything else. You need to go with the flow, and you've got people caring for you when you're in trouble. So again, thank you to everybody. Great trip. It's been a nice one.
Taking my heart up for you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank you. It's a fine evening for the night by a donkey.
Pierre and I spoke just now and said that this was again a life-changing experience. A lot of the guys that came on this trip, it was their first time on an adventure trip like this. New friendships was made, bonds created, brothers for life. It was unbelievable to ride with all of these guys, and I can't wait to ride with them again.
A Footpeg Diary epic tour, highs, lows.
This trip was more than I expected. It was an epic trip. It was the most adventurous trip I've ever been on.
Vibe was perfect every day. It was a friendly vibe.
I've never experienced anything like this.
It was unbelievable. It was...
I can't describe it.
All the accommodation every day well planned. All the routes well planned.
High speed, slow speed, sand, rocks.
Hopefully there's a camaraderie that begins and builds into something that'll last longer than just this moment in time, this week and a bit.
It was my first trip back on the bike as well. I got that monkey off my back.
It's not for the faint-hearted. It's a trip not for beginners.
There's tragedy, there's a little bit of trauma as well. There's hopefully people standing together and working through their issues. Not only that they experience on the trip, but also that they have in their lives and the trauma back home.
Meeting new people, but most of all riding bike, and that's what we do, and that was fun.
I'm mixed with emotions, and I am grateful. I'm humbled.
If you rediscover what's inside of you and who you really are.
For being alive and being safe.
I've loved every second of it.
A little bit of mixed emotions coming to an end.
It's a long stretch to get back home, but it's the last day.
But I will definitely do it again.
What a trip. I can't wait for our new Footpeg adventure.
Hey George. Hey George. Hey George. Hello George. Hello George. Hey George.
And so, the last day of our tour starts. Today, we're just riding home on basic tarred roads with no gravel planned. A relaxed 550-kilometer ride via Vicksburg, Rosendal, Heilbronn, Vereniging and through Johannesburg to get home early enough to unpack and spend quality time with our families.
This was my first time in this little town of Wepener. When you ride in here, you think, oh my goodness, where are we? But then you get to that awesome Lord Fraser guest house. I think that was probably the best stop of the trip so far.
It was an excellent overnight choice. Great food,
Nice bar. It's got a nice atmosphere in the bar with a fireplace and everything. And ice cold Jägermeister, obviously, which is important. It's actually a museum, eh? You know that? It's still a museum. Yeah. No, that was very good. Yeah, just close your eyes, go through the town quickly until you get to Lord Fraser, and then it's very nice inside.
The general decaying condition of roads in rural areas have become part of our daily reality. It's fitting then that the first and the last days of our tour are similarly challenged by the evergreen Free State potholes. By now, we have the technique down to a fine art. If you can't avoid it, speed up to more than 100 kilometers per hour, lean back and hit it straight on. The adventure suspension should do the rest, and if you're lucky and fast enough, you won't end up with a square rim.
This is special. Closed. So the detour of this closed road is about 100 k's of washed away mountain gravel road. I think we should make it by fall. Hopefully. Detour we go.
We crisscross a very quiet Rosendal for a cup of coffee and eventually find it at the local bakery where the ladies refuse to take any payment for it.
Hoekom charge ons nie vir die koffie nie?
Omdat jare terug was die boere gewees, nou, wat gestroop het. En hulle het hier ingekom en gesê, die stroper sê, dis -16 buite. Hulle vrek van die koue, kan net iets warms kry. En dit is ons tradisie, as die ouens hier inkom en vra vir koffie, dan kry hulle koffie.
Want dit is dierbaar. Ons kom weer as jy weer bykom, stop weer eens.
Right, dan jy sal weer koffie kry aan die
Die suikerkoekie is lekker, mag ek nog een wat?
Ja.
Oh!
Ek het hulle allemaal daar vir julle gesit en die ouens wat het nie wil hê nie, hulle verloor.
Baie dankie.
Dis reg.
Dankie julle. Mooi bly.
Veilig ry.
Ons maak so.
So, in typical adventure riding style, we are forced to discard our meticulously made plans and once again take the unexpected sidetrack. It's been the theme of this tour, and whether we like it or not, it shaped our experiences and our friendships. In the quiet of my helmet, while repeatedly picking the optimal line one after the other, I started thinking of the unplanned lines that we were all forced to take during this week. Starting with the excitement of escaping Gauteng over the Vaal River. The thrill of getting my Africa twin Dusty on the first gravel section. And then suddenly being shocked to my core by Skulk's accident and Hein's crash the following day. Rediscovering the isolated introspection that long distances on your bike can provide. The comfort and rewards that good friendship can bring. And the promise that every new morning carries, if you just open yourself to its inspiration. How our open expanses can dwarf you and change your perspective on your own measly problems. That heritage and people shape your path, whether it's rocky, or smooth sailing. That you should stop every now and then and smell the flowers. How surprising it is to meet new friends, and how easy it is to share joy with like-minded strangers. Realizing how small our worlds really are. How fleeting our existence is. Discovering that only the lesser taken path can truly reveal your character. That struggle will always be rewarded in the end. Seeing how kindness without reservation or ulterior motives can break down barriers between people from different worlds. Knowing that we can all ride this adventure together, no matter what way, style or brand we are, as long as we're all just lekker people. That's if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone. Sincere, open-hearted friendship is only an arm's length away. Realizing how fortunate we are. How grateful we can be for majestic places and the lessons that they bring. Do yourself a favor and get sidetracked. Not by your midlife crisis, your insecurities and temptations, or promise of a new beginning that's only fathomable once you've shattered everything that you've always been. No. Rediscover yourself in the freedom of the unexpected. Grow from the confidence that adaptability brings and share that gift with everyone. Get sidetracked. It's not going to be easy, but trust me, owning an adventure bike will most definitely help. Thank you for joining us on Sidetracked with Honda. Please like and subscribe to stay informed of the next Footpeg adventure in one of our neighboring countries coming soon. Until then, keep the rubber side at the bottom. This episode was made possible by Honda, the power of dreams. Leatt, the science of thrill. Insta360, magic in action. And Kameraz, for all things photo and video.